Hello fellow iguanas, welcome to another episode of EUROSIS, where we're going to watch and review songs from Eurovision 2019, and today these are going to be Norway, Armenia, Russia and the Netherlands. So let's get on with it. Norway, which is first on our list, is represented by the band Kaino, which is a trio, and according to what I've read, they mix electronic pop with traditional Nordic folk music, which is something quite unusual. We don't often get folk-inspired entries from the Scandinavian countries, so I'm quite excited about this. Okay, the trio are Tom Hugo, Fred Buljo and Alexandra Roten. Alexandra is the youngest of the trio. She has been on the Norwegian Idol. Then Fred Buljo, on the other hand, is part of the Sami rap group. What was their name? Duolva Duotar. I think that's how you pronounce it. Last but not least, probably the most experienced member of the band with the most successes under his belt is Tom Hugo, who is a songwriter. He wrote songs for some Korean bands like EXO and TVXQ and SHINee, so I was super excited. Yeah, I love TVXQ, you know, Changmin. SHINee and EXO I like too, but not as much. Anyway, so obviously I had to check out the songs to see what they were like, and they were super disappointing. Maybe not super disappointing, but yeah, definitely they were not the best. And he also wrote a song for a German artist, Yakoto, and I've checked that one out. It was much better. So let's hope that this one, Spirits in the Sky, is more on that level. So yeah, as you can tell from the title, the song is in English, so boo! There's, I think, one line in the Sami language. So yes, I mentioned Fred Buljo is a Sami rapper. What does it mean? Well, Sami people are the indigenous people of Lapland. Sami people live in basically all the Nordic countries. They are generally Finnish-Ugric people, so they are basically most closely related to Finns. I would say that this song, to me, I think that this is my interpretation, I think might be about the history of the Sami people, who has suffered discrimination for many years. Basically, they were recognized as indigenous people in Norway only in 1990. Before that, there was a harsh policy of Norwegianization. Culture of Sami people was suppressed. The Sami people were forced to learn and speak Norwegian only. Today, as a national minority that is indigenous to the country, they have their own parliament. But still, of course, the situation is not ideal. What makes me think that this song is about that particularly? It's lines like these. They took away my light. They call us nothing. My name is nothing. Come see me, please see me. 'Cause I've been running with the demons now. They all see my fear. They say there's nothing here. And then they said that I see your spirit in the sky when northern lights are dancing. Well, like Lapland is in the far north, so is where you can see the northern lights. So let's hear it. I really hope that this is going to be interesting.
Can't you stay with me into the night. Stay, I need you close. Just stay.
Have you seen my spirit lost in the night? The violent nightshade, they took away my light. They call us nothing.
Okay, now it just sounds like a pop song. I'm not hearing any Nordic pop. Okay, that's the one. Okay. This sounds like Eurodance from the 1990s, which, is not a bad thing necessarily. I love Eurodance. Why couldn't the whole song be just this guy singing? And I would be super happy. Yeah, totally. It just reminds me so much of especially German Eurodance bands from the 1990s. Remember, they always had a rapper. Yes. Oh my god! Tom Hugo, this was the guy with the hair. It's like, That's a crazy hairstyle. This reminds me a little bit of Disco Polo. It's like it just bangs you on the head. There's no subtlety to that chorus. None. Do you get what I'm saying here? Because I know that it's very hard to explain, like what is the quality that's just so annoying to me. So yeah, the concept, fantastic. The execution, not so much. Okay, let's move on maybe. Next up is Armenia, represented by Serbuk with the song Walking Out. Serbuk was the runner-up of the Armenian X Factor. Her inspirations are mostly jazz, soul, R&B. She says that her influences range from legendary classic vocalists such as Aretha Franklin, Etta James, and Ella Fitzgerald to the soul and R&B influences of artists and performers like Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and Michael Jackson. I don't know, how are Aretha Franklin and Etta James not R&B and soul? I don't get this. Oh, if your range is from Aretha Franklin to Ray Charles, then, you know, that's not a very wide range there, to be honest. But it's not a bad thing, you know. She knows what she likes. She knows what she's into. That's good. Okay, so, yeah, and last year, she participated in The Voice of Ukraine. So again, it's the same thing that I told you about Caucasian artists participating in the Ukrainian talent shows. Interesting! Okay, well, the title is Walking Out, so as you can guess, it's in English. Boo! From what I gathered here, it's about a breakup. So, yeah, same old, same old. But maybe she's going to sing about it in a completely new way. You never know.
Who are you? What you really do when you have to fight the agony that's coming back with
That is not what I expected. Okay, I can now hear the kind of soul R&B influences there. Mostly in her singing. Seriously, she should call the police. Was she in a relationship with all of these guys? What's happening here? She reminds me a little bit of Nina Sublati, was that her name? She, I think, represented Georgia. She had the song Warrior. I would say that I can kind of see similarities in their singing. It's pretty good. I'm afraid though that it's not strong enough. There's so many good songs this year, it's going to be really tough to stand out. You know, also all of the performers are just technically really good. They're all good singers. It just makes it so hard to wow the audience. I'm not wowed. Even though I appreciate everything, I definitely like the intro of the song a lot. The chorus, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's memorable enough. You know, I think that what we really need at the Eurovision Song Contest is a kind of earworm that just gets stuck in your head. Here, I don't think it has that kind of quality to it. Okay, anyway, let's move on. Okay, next up is Russia, represented by Sergei Lazarev. Again, because he has already represented Russia in 2016 with the song You Are the Only One, which almost won. And he only came second because of the jury vote, because he got the most points from the audience. So I'm wondering if he's going to repeat Dima Bilan's success, because remember, Dima Bilan came second on his first time at the Eurovision Song Contest, and then he participated again and won. Is Sergei going to repeat his success? We'll see. Before I get into the lyrics, let me just tell you some more things about him. This guy is just so accomplished. Basically, he has the longest description of anybody that I have read so far from this Eurovision. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother to get into that. Just trust and believe in Russia. He is the star, basically. He had also studied acting, and he's an actor in the theater and on TV. And he also was on numerous like talent shows like Stars on Ice, Circus with the Stars. I didn't even know that such a thing existed. But considering that it exists, I'm not surprised that it exists in Russia, because they just love the circus. He was also a judge on The Voice of Ukraine. So he coached Marov, who was supposed to be the representative of Ukraine this year. That would have been really interesting to see them both competing against each other. But yeah, thanks Ukraine, you robbed us of this. On top of all of this, he also opened a small business called Pudel Strudel, which makes pastries for dogs. How? Where do you find the time? Where do you find the energy to do all this? And it's not just that he does a lot of things, he succeeds at a lot of things, you know. That's just so unfair. I envy people who have all this like hyper energy levels. It has a charity too on top of all this, and it really is supportive of LGBT movement. To go out and say that you support LGBT community in Russia is not, you know, such an easy thing to do, because that's not a popular thing to say at all. It's not going to win you a lot of support. So yeah, he seems like a nice guy basically. I also hate him a little bit though, because you can't be this perfect. So the lyrics of the song is called Scream, so it's in English. Boo! They seem to be about to break up again, and some kind of unrequited love. They're pretty strong though. So let's see. I've read like one opinion, literally one opinion, that someone thought it's not as good as You're the Only One. Well, I didn't like that one, so if they didn't like it, maybe I will enjoy this one. Let's see.
No, I can't stay here longer. You cannot make me cry. I'll swallow hard.
This is definitely not what I expected after I read the lyrics. Because this just has more like melancholy to it. When I was reading the lyrics, they seemed more like filled with rage and anger. Also, when you sing Scream, you should scream. That's what I think. And I think that the entire music video also doesn't really fit everything here, because like when you see kids, immediately you don't think that it's going to be that serious. And it's like, and from this video you don't get that like that at the end that they're separated. On the contrary, it looks like it's a story with a happy ending when it's not. Like, there's a, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, his singing is perfect, like, technically perfect, but I don't like his interpretation of these lyrics. I think that they required a lot more anger. So, for example, yeah, but tears aren't quiet things. They burn and scar and sting. They scream and they scream. I'll swallow hard, I'll fall apart. Break and bleed, but you won't see. I mean, there's like a lot of resentment in this, I think. Don't you agree? Or I feel a little bit like shortchanged on this, because I was expecting something a lot stronger, a lot more powerful than what we got. I'm not a huge fan. Sorry, Sergey. Yeah, I would have really liked to like it. So yeah, let's move on to our last contestant. The last entry that we're going to watch today is Duncan Lawrence from the Netherlands with the song Arcade. Duncan has been on The Voice of Holland. Since then, he hasn't really released much music, but he has written songs for other artists. So he is a songwriter, and also he composed Arcade. So he said actually that it was inspired by someone that he loved deeply who died at a young age. Yeah, Duncan said that since Arcade he's written many songs, but somehow he feels that Arcade is at the center of all the songs that he says were written. But it's in English, so boo! This song is actually considered to be one of the favorites for the win this year. So, well, that makes me just expect more. I definitely hope I'm not going to be disappointed.
I'm afraid of all I am. feels like a foreign land. Small town boy in a big arcade. I got addicted to a losing game.
It is pretty mesmerizing, I have to say. Like, I just shut up for like the whole like minute and a half there, right? Yeah. Sounds very contemporary, sounds like, again, it kind of reminds me of a lot of other artists. I like these artists that have a unique style that I feel no one else can do. I felt that with Mahmoud, I felt that with Conan Osiris. This is very nice, but it doesn't feel that unique to me. Don't you think that you've heard like this song before or something? I think it's very nice. I think it's something that my parents would like a lot. Personally, it's like it's almost like too smooth for me. I kind of like, for instance, songs like Telemoves, which had this kind of a discord in it. But of course, it's a ballad. I'm not a huge fan of ballads. Let's start with that. It's very well done, but it's not my thing. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. What do you guys think about today's entries? Which one was your favorite? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to read it. Thanks for sticking with me today, and I'll see you next week. Bye.